Hi, I'm Alan R from Motor Matters. So welcome to a video with a difference for a change. No, I'm not in my Motor Matters uniform. I'm even not wearing my hat because check it out. We're out in the bush right now. This is called a working holiday, or they used to call it a busman's holiday, because we'd taken a few days out to come to the bush at Dikalolo Game Reserve, and we're traveling courtesy of Toyota South Africa in the Hilux Double Cab. The 2.8 Raider. So it's not the top spec, but who cares? It's still got the 2.8 engine with the 6-speed gearbox. It's got the automatic. It's got all those sort of features. It's not even the 4-wheel drive. It's the 2-wheel drive version. But we're on, you can see a nice dirt track over here. It's got the ground clearance, it's got everything. It's got a diff-lock if you really need it, or you get stuck or something silly like that, if you're stupid enough to do that. But it really is the perfect vehicle for coming on a bush trip, I can tell you that much. And when you're traveling with company, of course, it helps when you got the buck at the back. That can really take the luggage for all of us that we needed for a week away in the bush, and especially considering the fact that it's a bit of self-catering. And let's just do a climb up over here, because that's what we do. And this is what I call the life in the bush. We've seen a bit of game already. You'll see some of it in this video. And this, to me, is how you take a break. And what more could you want to travel around in than a vehicle like this? Perfect. Our first game drive in Dikalolo, and we're on a nice little piece of dirt road. 4x2, 4x4 really makes no difference. This vehicle is so comfortable. But check what we just spotted. Hope you can see it clearly. Kudu, one lying down, and one. Check those horns. Check that male with those magnificent horns. And that is really what this is about. So let's just cruise along. You can see we're on a very smooth piece of dirt road over here. It just is an absolute breeze. Plenty of space for the four of us in the vehicle. The buck on the back, of course. And it's just, this is what life is about as far as I'm concerned. This is where you come to a game reserve, a game park, for exactly this. And what better vehicle could I be traveling in than this one we're in right now? It's just built to handle absolutely anything and everything along here. You can see there are a couple of bumps and lumps we're going over right now. It just doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So let's just carry on and cruise and enjoy ourselves. Why not, when you're here, take an early morning game drive, just after 6 a.m. Sun's not even properly up in the sky yet, but they reckon the animals should be waking up right now. It should be early morning for them, which is the more important part. And we plan to see lots today. Now comes the classic, and this is what I love about a game park. Left, right. Who knows, who cares? I'm going left. That's it, or straight. And this is the fun of what we do. We've got hours ahead of us now. Still got over 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So we've got a day of game viewing ahead of us. I see. Lesser spotted two-legged humans. There we go. A couple of them, including the young. You see. Obviously, happy breeding ground this as well. That's what really counts. But seriously, the lovely part about this place and this reserve is the fact that although there's lots of buck, etc., it's pretty safe for people to even walk around. Great place to be. Driving around and having a bit of fun in the morning. And so the Hilux is out in the bush. There's a watering hole, there's a fountain over there, a natural spring. You probably can't even see it in the background. Try and get it for you quickly. But you know, the interesting thing with this car we've got right now is it's not even 4x4, it's the 4x2 version. But you've got the ground clearance, you've got the clearance for articulation on the wheels, of course, on the axles. And quite honestly, at no moment whatsoever have I felt any lack of 4x4 or any need for four-wheel drive on this vehicle. The dirt roads in the park over here are nice and easy, nice and smooth. Loose sand, but it's just easy stuff. It's just made everything nice and easy, nice and comfortable. And that's all you can ask for.
Big ones, eh? That's a big one.
Okay, forget zebra crossings. Let's get a giraffe crossing for a change. Just because it's different. Here he comes, here he comes. Are we going to get him? Are we going to get him? Can you see him coming through now? There he comes. Ah, he stopped to eat instead. There's his buddy as well, eating as well right now. These guys are just too damn hungry, that's the problem. Here he comes. Here he comes. And look at this. There he is. The problem is he stops to snack all the time on the way. So when is he going to walk across the road in front of us? Proves the Hilux diesel engine isn't that noisy because it's not scaring these guys in any way whatsoever. So does that say something about the Hilux diesel engine? Here he comes. There we go, look at that. Right in front of us, across the road he goes. And headed straight. Are you coming straight towards us? No, there it swings past, so it's not going to walk in front of us, unfortunately. It may just cross the road behind us this time. Oh well, there you go, but right near us you can see as it comes along. And just to prove Toyota is Toyota, here comes a Fortuner. Now we've spotted a couple of eland over here. Not that easy to spot, not that common, and should we call it a special treat? Because, yeah, they are difficult to pick up, but you can see them. There's, oh, yeah, they come across the road in front of us. That's much better and much easier to see, isn't it? There you go. Oh, look at this big guy coming now. He's the big daddy of the herd, I can guarantee you that much. Waterbuck crossing, Waterbuck crossing.
What's that way in your direction, straight ahead?
That's some more of them. A moment of excitement. Our game spotters spotted a sleeping rock. Many of them around here, but very few people ever spot them. On the homeward bound section of the trip now, and out of the park, on a long stretch of dirt road, and you can see it's pretty corrugated and pretty rutted at certain points. It's a good dirt road, there's no complaints about it, but you are getting the corrugations. And I can tell you once again that yes, you're bouncing, but it's certainly not uncomfortable. And the two-wheel drive, I'm quite comfortable. I know a lot of people do believe that if you have four-wheel drive, you put it into four high the minute you go on a dirt road. And if this was the four-wheel drive version, I would do exactly that. But there has been no point whatsoever where I felt unsafe, uncomfortable. I'm doing 60 k's an hour very, very easily and comfortably. And it really, to me, is no problem, no pressure whatsoever here at all on this road. This vehicle is stable. Look, it's a big heavy vehicle. It does help. But it's sitting well planted on the dirt road. Comfortable, easy, and I don't think any of my passengers are going to complain that much about the ride on this piece of road either. Got a nice little load of our luggage on the back as well, not that it's any weight for a bakkie that can take 750, 800 kilos if you wanted. We certainly haven't got it loaded like that, but it just does the job so well. I think that's the point, and that's what really counts. And if you're looking for it, you've got to think, do you need the four-wheel drive or don't you? A lot more money to buy it in the first place, and it's going to always be heavier on fuel overall than this one, which is rear-wheel drive only. Finally hitting the tar road, and we're not on the highway yet, but we're out in the country on the open road, and it's cruise mode, cruise time. Again, for a double cab bucky, I've got no complaint. The ride is smooth, it's comfortable. Yeah, you hit a bump and you feel it, of course, but that's because the size of the wheels and whatever, and the weight of the vehicle. But quite honestly, checked with the passengers and everybody says it's been pretty damn comfortable the whole time. They've got no complaints, and it's just an easy cruise. The 6-speed auto box just makes life easy. Don't have to worry with it. It's not one of those finicky boxes that hunts for gears every few seconds when you do anything, or when you put your foot down or try to, or something like that. The 2.8 turbo diesel, don't forget, 150 kilowatts and 500 Newton meters of torque. It's quite a lot. It's more than enough. It's plenty. And it's certainly been very comfortable for cruising along on the road and just making life easy and comfortable. It's also been very easy in the park. I'm just slowing down because I think there could be a speed trap or something up ahead. I did get a little warning from somebody a moment ago. You may have seen headlights being flashed on from an oncoming car, and yeah, there they are up ahead. You can see them. So let's just hope nobody's up to anything over here and just see what's going on. But that's life when you're out in the country and out on the open road. Anything can happen, and just be ready for anything. That's the most important part. Jumping in behind the wheel, of course, the crucial figure that you want to see, and we've done roughly 400 kilometers or so on this trip so far. So have a look over there, 9.5 liters per 100. I can tell you I got it under 9 when we were cruising on the open road, but that was with 4 adults on board and all our luggage in the back of the buck. So keep that in mind. You know, of course, what you're likely to get. And remembering that also cruising in the park, you actually use more fuel, because at like 30 to 40 k's an hour, obviously you're in a low gear and it's not the most economical. I found the consumption actually going up during that period. You've got, of course, your typical multifunction steering wheel. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. And you've got an old-fashioned type stalk over here for cruise control. Remembering radar spec means it's not active cruise control. You don't have all the safety spec you're going to get in the higher models. That's something you've just got to keep in mind and remember. But of course, it is allowed for in the price. And that's the important part. You come across to the center. You've got the very standard Toyota screen that we're all used to these days. The menu there. I must tell you that Android Auto worked extremely well. And very efficient. I was very happy with it. So that's a good feature to remember as well. And dual zone climate control. Nice there as well. And just let's take a look at the dash. You've got the sort of silver strip across the middle of the dash over there. And very interestingly, you do have 2 cubbyholes. Top and bottom. There you go. So nice feature, I think, as well. Lots of storage space. That's the bottom line. You do have over here, you come down the center over here, and you've got 2 12-volt sockets at the front, but only 1 USB over there, okay? So that may be a little bit of a question mark. And you have another 220-volt, 100-watt power socket here as well, but still not in any more USBs. And that's a bit of a pity, I think. Being, again, the radar spec, you don't have separate aircon vents, etc. in the back either. So that, I think they could up the count on USBs, if you want my opinion over there. Coming back over here to the center. Nice spot over here for the phone. It does work nicely, holds it nicely. 2 big cup holders, of course you'd expect that. And even a cup holder at each end of the dash under the air vents that just pop out if you press on them over there. Just press over there and there's a nice big cup holder on both sides for driver and passenger. The 6-speed automatic gearbox, smooth, comfortable, does the job very efficiently. You have an eco and a power button. I never even touched them during this test. Didn't see the need. And traditional old-fashioned handbrake. Just by the way, over here, must just show you quickly. You do, of course, have your button to switch off the DSC, and you do have a diff lock, because this is the 4x2, not the 4x4. So you can lock the rear diff if you find yourself in conditions where you need it. Cloth upholstery, well, you can see, this is one of those question marks. Do you mind? Does it matter? To me, it doesn't actually matter at all, and quite pleasant for a change to have cloth upholstery as far as I'm concerned. Very comfortable, the seats are good. If you just have a look in the back over here, you'll notice, of course, one of the factors of a double cab bucky that doesn't necessarily have a canopy or anything on the rear is we've just been to the shops to replenish after our week away at the game park, and guess what? Shopping has to actually come in the back seat. Well, just one of those things, isn't it? Price-wise, well, as we're in right now, 688,000 Rand for Raider 4x2 with the 2.8 GD6 engine, in other words, the 150 kilowatt, 500 Newton meter version. If you consider that full legend spec with everything can take you up to 900,000 Rand, giving you active braking, active safety, and a motorized roller shutter on the back, those are things only you can decide for yourself. But as we did in the park, where every time we came to a left or right choice, many times I kept saying, everything keeps going right, that's where we turn, because that's what the Toyota slogan used to be. Hilux, they don't sell up to 4,000 of them in a month for no reason whatsoever, do they? You know it, I don't have to remind you. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.